For the next 10 minutes or so, as the music plays, just relax. Close your eyes, rest in the presence, and hold space.
Ganapataye Namo Namaha. Ganapataye Namo Namaha. Ganapataye Namo Namaha. Jai Ganesha Gananatha Dayaniti Sakala Vignya Karadura Hamare. Jai Ganesha Gananatha Dayaniti Sakala Vignya Karadura Hamare. Ganapataye Namo Namaha. Ganapataye Namo Namaha. Ganapataye Namo Namaha. Ganapataye Namo Namaha. Ganapataye Ganapataye Namo Namaha. Ganapataye Namo Namaha. Omega Dantaya Vidmahi Vakratundaya Dhimahi Tanno Danti Prachodayat. Ganapataye Namo Namaha. 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 Jai Ganesha Gananatha Dayaniti Sakala Vignya Karadura Hamare. Jai Ganesha Gananatha Dayaniti Sakala Vignya Karadura Hamare. Ganapataye Namo Namaha. 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 Om Vakratundaya Mahakaya Suryakoti Samaprabha Nirvigyam Kuru Me Deva Sara Karyeshu Sarvada. Ganapataye Namo Namaha. Ganapataye Namo Ganapataye Namo Namaha. Gam Ganapataye Namo Namaha. Gam Ganapataye Namo Namaha. Jai Ganesha Gananata Dayaniti Sakala Vignakara Dura Hamari. Jai Ganesha Gananata Dayaniti Sakala Vignakara Dura Hamari. Ganapataye Namo Namaha. 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 Suklam Bharadaram Vishnu Sasivarnam Chaturbhujam Prasannavadanam Dhyaye Sarvavignyopashantaye. Gam Ganapataye Namo Namaha. 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 Jai Ganesha Gananata Dayaniti Sakala Vignakara Dura Hamari. Jai Ganesha Gananata Dayaniti Sakala Vignakara Dura Hamari. Ganapataye Namo Namaha. Ganapataye Namo Namaha. Ganapataye Namo Namaha. Ganapataye Namo Namaha.
Namaste.
Namaste.
Welcome to our weekly online satsang. Satsang being a Sanskrit word that means roughly spiritual community. Literally, community of truth is the translation. Wherever we have two or more people on the path of self-realization and oneness, awakening and the flowering of the heart, we have a satsang. And we strengthen one another exponentially when we come together to share our journeys, to share our presence. To sort of understand why we do this, it's because the world needs to shift quickly from competition, conflict, and war to cooperation, harmony, and peace. We believe that can only take place when there's a shift in the collective consciousness of humanity. Right now, the shift, the flowering of the heart, the awakening is happening one person at a time. With each one of us who awakens, ripples go out into the collective consciousness, and the scale begins to tip just a little bit. When enough people have awakened on this planet, one day, the scale will tip from conflict and war and competition into cooperation, harmony, and peace, and a new earth will begin. Many groups these days are sharing various transmissions of awakened consciousness and energy that catalyze awakening, that smooth and hasten the journey. We share something called the Flowering Heart Blessing, Hridaya Vikasa Diksha, the Diksha, the blessing, the spiritual transmission that comes directly from the heart of the divine to your heart and causes it to begin to flower. If you like it, you're soaking in it right now, just invite the divine to use you as an instrument and pour the blessing through you to everyone who joins us this evening, online, and anyone who might happen to view the recording in the future. Because it's a spiritual transmission, spirit is not limited by time or distance. So if someone watches the video of tonight 10 years from now, they'll feel the same spiritual presence and blessing that we all do. We're going to open it in a few minutes to questions and answers about the spiritual journey, about your spiritual journey, anything you'd like to ask about meditation, previous lives, future lives, God realization. We'll take pretty much any question if it isn't political or so philosophical that we lose the sense of the spirit. But that usually doesn't happen. So just ask inside if there might be a question you could share tonight that would stimulate the conversation. And while you're considering that, I'm going to read, as I do each week, a little article and a collection of quotes from the website inspiringquotes.com. Let me get this queued up here. I never know what technology is going to do lately. This coming Sunday is going to be our monthly interfaith communion with the Cosmic Christ, to which everyone's invited, regardless of your faith tradition or lack thereof. Everybody's welcome. Pagans, Buddhists, Hindus, Taoists, indigenous, really. And it's a wonderful opportunity to celebrate together and experience the cosmic dimension of the Christ, which is an aspect of God that has existed forever. It's the spark of the divine at the heart of everything in creation that is pure love and holds the blueprint for spiritual evolution and transformation. In India, it's often referred to as the Paramatma. Some people call it the God within or the light within. We refer to it often as the Cosmic Christ. That's 11 a.m. Eastern
Time.
I think Eastern time. It just changed a few days ago, supposedly.
What changed?
Never mind. From daylight to
That was March.
Yeah, well, that isn't what it told me online. But anyway, wherever we are in that whole mishmash of daylight savings and standard time, whatever it is, this coming Sunday, it'll be 11 a.m. Eastern
You've
time.
been working too much on your service.
I know. Well, the subject is going to be something that I haven't so directly focused on in any of these public presentations. The subject will be spiritual warfare, the whole armor of God. And the Divine was just very clear that it wanted me to share some of my knowledge about spiritual warfare, about the whole armor of God right now. And I didn't really want to do it, so I wrestled a little bit, and the Divine won and said, you do what I'm telling you to do, and I'll do my part. The minute I said, okay, I'll do it, inspiration just began to flow. When I deal with the subject of spiritual warfare, all kinds of weird stuff happens. And so it's often interference with electronics. So just be patient. If anything weird happens tonight with our live streaming or the internet, you'll know what it was about. Come Sunday at 11 a.m. You can come here in person, or you can watch online, Facebook Live, Vimeo, LinkedIn, or YouTube. And we'd love to have you join us. All right. And I think you might find the subject kind of interesting. It comes up a lot these days, and people have been asking me, and I've kind of hedged on it, but I've had a lot of experience with it over the last half a century, and so I'll be sharing some of what I know. Okay, so tonight we're going to read an article and a list of 17 quotes about the peace and power of the ocean. And this was put together by Julia Travers. Julia is a writer, artist, and teacher. And we thank you for this contribution on water and the oceans. Now, this is a pretty new one. She just posted this like within a couple of days ago. So here's what she has to say about the power of the ocean. Let me guzzle a little before I start. Oh, water is so good. Okay. Most of the earth is covered by the ocean. And this vast saltwater realm holds a special place in the hearts of many. The ocean offers opportunities for exploration, rest, and play, as well as food and employment. Many people feel quieted or excited in the presence of its beautiful, powerful, and ever-moving waves, or experience a sense of connection and belonging at the seashore, which is perhaps not surprising given that our bodies are about 70% water. What's more, the ocean makes up about 70% of our blue planet's surface. And close to 97% of the world's water resides in the ocean at any given time. As we care for the ocean, we care for ourselves. The Native American Lakota tribe have a saying that has spread throughout the environmental movement in recent years. Water is life. The sea is the foundation of our ecosystem, providing access to clean water, air, and food. Enjoying the ocean is healthy for us too. Time in nature has been found to be stress-reducing and healing. The fresh, salty air can ease respiratory distress. And while UV protection is important, a sunny day at the beach provides crucial vitamin D. It's little surprise that countless writers and thinkers have mused about the ocean's soothing rhythms, timeless power, and irresistible magnetism, as these 17 quotes attest. So here we go. We are tied to the ocean. And when we go back to the sea, whether it is to sail or to watch, we are going back from whence we came. John F. Kennedy. To me, the sea is a continual miracle. The fishes that swim, the rocks, the motion of the waves, the ships with men in them. What stranger miracles are there? Walt Whitman. The sea, that great library of books one cannot read. Ian Fleming. For whatever we lose, like a you or a me, it's always ourselves we find in the sea. E. Cummings. The sea, once it casts its spell, holds one in its net of wonder forever. Jacques Cousteau. But more wonderful than the lore of old men and the lore of books is the secret lore of the ocean. H.P. Lovecraft. No water, no life. No blue, no green. Sylvia Earle. The cure for anything is salt water, sweat, tears, or the sea. Karen Blixen. Somebody told me that this is the place where everything's better and everything's safe. Walk on the ocean, step on the stones. Flesh becomes water, wood becomes bone. Toad the wet sprocket. Ocean. It is time, perhaps, or the vessel filled with all motion, pure oneness that death cannot touch, the visceral green of consuming totality. Pablo Neruda. Your heart is the size of an ocean. Go find yourself in its hidden depths. Rumi. When anxious, uneasy, and bad thoughts come, I go to the sea, and the sea drowns them out with its great wide sounds, cleanses me with its noise, and imposes a rhythm upon everything in me that is bewildered and confused. Rainer Maria Rilke. A wave in the sea, seen in one way, seems to have a distinct identity, an end and a beginning, a birth and a death. Seen in another way, the wave doesn't really exist, but is just the behavior of water, empty of any separate identity, but full of water. Sogyal Rinpoche. Live in the sunshine, swim in the sea, drink the wild air. Ralph Waldo Emerson. I could never stay long enough on the shore. The tang of the untainted, fresh, and free sea air was like a cool, quieting thought, And the shells and pebbles and the seaweed with tiny living creatures attached to it never lost their fascination for me. Helen Keller. In one drop of water are found the secrets of all the endless oceans. Khalil Gibran. He that will learn to pray, let him go to sea. George Herbert. Those are cool.
Mm-hmm.
Thought you'd like
Yeah.
them. Okay. Let's see what kind of inspiration you left us here. Yekaterina writes, I've had several castings and always I'm about to get the role and in the last minute I don't get it. Is it a thing with my ancestors, a curse, karma or something? I read the grandfather is the career success. Is it true that their sins also have to be our sins? Well, the fact that you don't get a role shouldn't make you assume that something is wrong. We don't know that. You have no idea what would happen if you got the perfect role and some stage light fell from above. I think it was Rumi, actually, who said, when one door or window is closed, another always opens. But sometimes we're so fixated on the door that's shut in our face that we miss the window that God has opened. So that's what I'd say. So I have no way of knowing if it's your ancestors, an ancestral curse, karma or something. You would have to ask God to show you that. Now you could ask psychics, you could ask fortune tellers, you can ask gypsies, but I don't recommend that. 'Cause it just, well, Christ put it this way, seek and you shall find. So if you look for a curse, you'll find it. If you look for dark karma, you'll find it. But we should all be concerned with making right the sins of our ancestors. All of us on this planet are survivors of the wars and the conquests waged by our ancestors. And people have been hurt in all cultures all over the world. And here we are enjoying this beautiful planet, still at war, still being ravaged. But yes, we do. It says in the Bible that the children bear the sins of their parents to the 7th generation. And that was given not as some bummer to the kids. That was being told to parents. Don't do what you're about to do if it's negative, because the repercussions will echo to the 7th generation of your progeny, your children. So that's in the Hebrew tradition. I was amazed when I began to go to India and spend a lot of time there that the Hindus teach exactly the same thing. 7 generations. But what we do that's good and positive and transforming not only echoes out into the collective consciousness, it echoes and ripples into the future through our progeny, through our children, through the people we touch. And it also ripples back through our family tree. We have the ability to bring release of karma, and call it what you will. Curses do exist, although they're in this day and age pretty rare, although people do it unknowingly all the time by wishing ill on people they don't like. But these things that affect us because we're like part of a tree, a family tree. And the branches grow and the leaves they bud and they flower, and then the buds reach the end of their life and they drop, but the branch keeps on going. And we are buds on the end of some branches of a very ancient tree. And if we go back far enough in that tree, the whole world is family. And there's one tree. And we are all the progeny, the children of one tree, one common ancestor. If we go deep, deep, deep enough, we find out at the heart of it is God. That our true self, our true essence is the divine itself. But in order to, time is a weird thing. So we're always concerned with moving forward and getting something in the future we want. But in order to do that, we also work on the past, making things right. So I know people whose ancestors probably were horrific oppressors of native indigenous people. And so some of them are moved in their hearts by compassion and empathy, not through guilt or fear, to reach out to indigenous people that were affected by their ancestors and heal that relationship and embrace them. So that's really important. And there's a little light on that. But, if it seems that there's a pattern that's troubling you because it seems like I'm cast for these acting roles, and it seems like I've got the role and at the last minute, it stops. They said in India that some of that can be because of unhealed relationship with our parents. Particularly for the Indian people, it's the divine feminine when it comes to prosperity and abundance, because the feminine part of the divine is what nurtures and gives love and sustenance. So if we had a troubled relationship with our mother where we weren't getting the kind of nurturance that was fulfilling and delightful, we have probably interiorized at a very deep subconscious level that the universe is going to withhold its sustenance from us on some level. So by working on our relationship with our mothers, we can heal that. I think the father is more obvious to people. If we have a troubled relationship with the father, and it hasn't been healed within us, when we were very, very young, before we became rational, we developed a certain block toward the male influence. And that generally becomes projected on the masculine side of God. God is both, male and female and everything. But and so if we're having trouble with authority, we might want to work on, or males, we might want to work on the relationship with our fathers. And so.
I would also take a look at attachment. Sometimes if we have a strong attachment to an outcome, we're slipping out of the realm of faith and trust in the divine to lead us where we're going. And if we bring in that element of, oh, I really, really want this role and I really have to get it, and what if I don't get it? And those are all musings of the mind. And so sometimes when, we get attached to something, if we look at that attachment and kind of just step back and let that go and go back into our hearts and just trust that the divine is going to lead us into whatever role we need to play in life. And the more that we foster that relationship and pay attention to where we are getting attached to things, there's an energetic flow that goes along with that. And if you're attached to something, there could be other elements of, like, the director or the casting or whatever that's picking up on that immediacy, that attachment. And sometimes it's more attractive to hire people in any career that are confident and not attached to a particular outcome, but know that they are going to get what is right for them when it's right for them. And sometimes just by stepping back and letting go of that attachment and having faith and confidence in the divine puts you in a whole different energetic arena.
So rather than thinking about what kind of dark curse, karma, or obstacles getting in the way, think about how can I open more to receive the blessing that the divine is pouring out to me.
And trust.
So
How
the
can I have
problem
more
is
trust?
it's always on the receiving end. It's never with God. God is always wanting to bless us with prosperity, with health, with success in life. But we have a hard time receiving it, as it turns out. And usually we go, well, God's holding it back because I sinned, or I did something wrong, or my ancestors did. And so rather look for what you might do to open up to receive. And that's a conversation, a love conversation between you and your divine. So Michael Christopher writes, what if you don't have children? Well, then you won't be passing on anything to your progeny. But come on, you're talking. I have 4 children, but I wasn't the biological father of any of them. And for years, I didn't have the 4 children that I have now. And I was consecrated as a priest and a minister. And people tended to call me father. And I had many spiritual children. Lots of little children, but so many of the people that God brought into my life over the years were children to me because I helped to birth their spiritual life. So don't look at it in such a small focus. The point is that whatever we do, whatever we embody, whatever we radiate, shines out and ripples out to affect people all around us, and people who are walking before us carrying the future in their hearts. There are amazing children being born now that are so bright, so full of light. They're here for the new earth. But there are also children, sure, who are troubled, who have psychological problems from the beginning. And it seems that most of those are transmitted in the home. Domestic violence, which is huge all over the world. It's one of the big problems of humanity because it's kept secret and it's very destructive. Domestic violence is learned in the home, in childhood, and it is transmitted intergenerationally. And we're living at a time where we have so much knowledge about this that it's not just spiritual teachers like me that are saying this. It's not just psychologists that are saying this. I went to a training course, I won't get into detail, at the Federal Law Enforcement Training Center. I was one of 2 non-law enforcement people. And I was invited because of my role in ministry. And all of these, they were mostly federal and state police and officers, and there were judges, and all of these people involved in law enforcement. All of them were very clear that this was an intergenerational problem being transmitted in the home. What do we do about it? And I was amazed at the light, actually, and the insight and the actual concrete methods that the FLETC, the Federal Law Enforcement Training Center, was sharing with these agents and captains and people at different levels of legal enforcement. And they saw it as the number one issue that leads to why is there shooting in schools? Why is there so much violence rampant in our countries? It's because of what these kids were exposed to in the home as children. And what parent wants to admit to that? So, there you go.
I think sometimes we don't realize that anybody that we've had connections with, there's a ripple effect. It could even just be a casual connection. It could be a family member. It could be a best friend that has children that you've spent time at the park with. Or, we are all connected. So we can, we can have an influence on everybody that we encounter, whether we know it or not.
So I'm wondering, Michael responded to all this with, "Oh, thank God, no one can take on my caramel." Caramel? You mean your addiction to sugar? Are you talking about your camels? Because in the Mideast, that's kind of a joke. People having to take your camels with you when you come to visit. Or are you talking what are you talking about?
He's just being funny.
Yekaterina writes, "Could you please pray for me so God takes care of my career? I think he wants me to serve him, her as an actress. I will ask, hope he, her answers me." Sure.
We'll pray for that, but you have to start believing that connection within your heart, yourself, and fostering and developing. I know you have a very deep, rich spiritual life, and you do a lot of work on yourself, but this is a little bit more specific. This is really deepening in your trust in the divine and the divine will, and a little bit of surrender of our own personal agenda to, being open to what the divine has for our life plan. If you had asked me 30 years ago, would I be doing what I'm doing now? There's no possible way that I could have even imagined sitting here tonight and living the life that I'm living. And I've just been guided through, whatever event arises, and deepening in my surrender to whatever the divine will is. And like I was saying earlier, sometimes when we let go of that attachment of the outcome, it opens up new energy to come into your acting, to come into your career. Because at some level, it starts inside of us. And our connection with the divine is paramount for that.
So it's important to know that God does care about your well-being. The word salvation means wholeness, health, prosperity, and abundance. It's all wrapped up in both the Hebrew and the Greek words that are used in the Bible for salvation. But in addition, you say, I think he wants me to serve him in a certain way. Well, dig deeper. Ask God to make it really clear to you so you have confidence. And then you said, I will ask and hope that God answers me. You got to do better than that. Because, quite straight up, the scriptures say, call unto me and I will answer you. God promises to direct your path, to show you the way, to guide you in it, and to answer you when you ask. Ask and you shall receive. Seek and you shall find. Knock and the door will be open unto you. And then Jesus said this weird statement, if you folks, being evil, know how to give good gifts to your children, how much will your heavenly parents give good things to those who ask? But you see, this is where we need to have faith and trust in the character of God. And if we meditate on Scripture, we'll find that God promises in so many ways. If you reach out to me, you will find me. Seek me, and I will be found by you. Call unto me, and I will answer you. I've taken that and just opened it up, slammed it down before God and said, look, see what this says? I will answer you. Seek me and you will find, I will be found. Okay, I'm calling you on it, God. And I do that respectfully, but to really put God's promises to the test with trust. Okay? Michael says, pray for my career transition too, please, of course. And yes, I want to surrender. So surrender is part of it, but part of it too is leaning in faith to make that contact with your divine, to make your path clear. And that doesn't always come in words. God's original language is silence, and often we just get a knowing in our heart. A few years back, we'd been involved in a certain work, spending a lot of time in India, and it just came into our hearts one day. It's, something shifted. It's time to recombobulate. God didn't tell us exactly. There was just a knowing in our hearts. So that's usually the way we're led. One of the Sufi masters said, if you want to know where God is trying to lead you, look where your feet are going. So
I've got these little cards. They're called angel cards, and they're just these little, like, size of a fortune cookie. And I've been using them for like 20 years now. 25, maybe 30. Strange phenomenon as you get older. Anyway, I put them in a bowl. It was my mother's cobalt glass bowl, and I close my eyes and I ask the angels, what do I need to work on today? And I usually draw 2 cards, whatever sticks to my fingers. And about a week ago, I drew the words surrender and power. Mm-hmm. And so I've been meditating on that. There's a lot of power in surrendering, because when you surrender to the divine will, there's gifts inside of you and energy inside of you that you didn't know you have, because it's your effort, it's your ego and your mind's effort. But there's a power in us, and when we surrender, there's a lot of shifts that can happen. So interesting thing is I keep putting these words back in, and then I'll reshuffle them. I don't do it every day, but every few days. But I've drawn the word surrender 3 times this week. And my deck is so old, I've got a double deck in there. So, some of them have been lost, but, the odds, I think the decks are like over 50 words, like the alphabet. And so I probably have 100 cards in this little bowl. And out of randomly to pick surrender 3 times in 1 week, obviously I'm supposed to meditate on that. So it's a good meditation for anybody. The concept of surrender, what does that mean to me? How easily can I surrender to what I had an attachment to, and then focus on the divine presence and the will of the divine for my life instead of my own pushing.
You're in our book club, Yekaterina, and we've been meditating on the Sufi Book of Life, and we were just meditating on creating space. In order to receive from the divine blessing, we have to empty ourselves. We have to create a receptive space. And he put it this way, it's like a circle. That's the empty space with a dot at the center, which is your focus. So he said that creating space and opening to the divine is both emptiness and surrender, but with focused intent at the center. So that's kind of what we've been pointing at, that it isn't all just surrender. It's focused intent. Okay, so go ahead, close your eyes.
Thanks for the questions.
Yeah, great. The ocean of God, Rumi said, is within you. Your heart is the size of an ocean, the ocean of God, of all that is, dwells within you. Infinite possibilities. The outer world is just a reflection of the inner world. As magnificent, as vivid as the world around us is, the world within us is even more vivid and wonderful. The divine dwells within you, as your true essence at the center of your being. And it is pouring out to you love, grace for awakening, the flowering of the heart, the blossoming of your life, spirit, soul, and body. The divine yearns to free you from suffering, from the illusion of separation and duality. There's no distance between you and God or you and anything else in the universe. All is one. The notions of separation and distance are veils created by the mind. And if you just open yourself to receive the blessing of God, it will dissolve the veil of illusion and flood your spirit with light and joy, and flood your soul with divinely inspired thoughts, dreams, plans, ideas. It will clear away the debris of all the stale and unproductive thoughts and feelings and plans, and replace them with divinely inspired thoughts and emotions, plans and energy. It will shine out into your physical body and dissolve your dis-ease. Wherever you are not at ease, in oneness with God and with all that is, the light will flood your body and bring you healing. Just receive it now. Drink it in. Breathe it in. It will order your relationships. It will bless and grace your work. Just let the divine bless your steps and your efforts and your vocations, your careers, your plans, and your relationships. If you just say yes and relax, the divine does all the work. It floods out of your innermost being through all the layers, spirit, soul, and body, and makes you a bright and shining light in the world that will touch and catalyze everyone who encounters you. Just relax and receive. Cast all your cares into the hands of God right now and let go. Either you carry it or you let the divine carry it. Release your worry. Release your fear. Release your apprehensions about the future. And trust the creative light of the universe, of all that is. Let us imagine we're sitting in a circle together with our eyes closed, our hands lifted up and our palms open. Let us envision the human family tree that began in shrouded mystery long, long ago. And this tree has extended its branches into this present moment and is reaching into the future as we speak. Let us take a strong intention and ask the Divine to heal our ancestors, to awaken them wherever they are and draw them into the light, into oneness with all that is. That the water of life will flow through the veins of this tree, the human family tree, causing it to become vibrant again, its leaves to become green, its fruit to become lush, its dimness to give way to bright light. The tree of life. Which, according to the myth, we were placed in the garden to tend that tree, but not to eat it. So, let us envision the earth in the middle of our circle, and let us call upon the Divine and take a strong intention together for all the fear and the anger and the violence and the judgment in the human heart to be dissolved by the light of the peace of God. Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Peace, peace, peace. Now you could relax your hands in your lap and open your eyes and make direct eye contact with Suzanne and or me. As we dive into the light meditation, Suzanne and I are flooded with oceans of peace and love, light and healing, awakening for you. It streams through every fiber of our being to you, especially through our eyes, the windows of the soul. Just keep looking, gazing at our eyes, at least one of them, and relax and receive. That's all you need to do. And the light will stream out of our eyes, in through your eyes, into your spiritual heart, causing the light of awakening and the flames of divine love to grow brighter and brighter and brighter within. Just receive. Close your eyes now. Meditate a few more minutes with us. Now keep meditating as long as it feels good to you. You could also lie in Shavasana, which is to lie on your back, someplace close by that's comfortable. Lie comfortably on your back, close your eyes, let your arms be loosely at your sides, with the palms opened and turned upward, and just allow yourself to dissolve with gratitude in the presence. We love you.
Much love, light, and blessings.
Until we meet again, know that the divine in us beholds the divine within you, and we bow to you.
Namaste.